You guys knew this was coming, didn't you? Ever since Shenmue 3 was announced as a Kickstarter at Sony's conference, I knew this was foreshadowing not only the direction that Sony would be taking, but that I think other companies will take in the future. And I don't like it, for reasons almost too numerable to itemize, but I'm gonna try anyway. Sony, if you don't know, have announced this program called First Flight, which is designed so that employees within the company can announce these ideas and then people can fund them to make them a reality. Now, at first you may be thinking, oh, well, this is good. I mean, this means that these little ideas that employees have can get off the ground. And because it's optional, as people like to say, then you have nothing to complain about. Yeah, there's a lot to complain about. See, look, I'm okay with crowdfunding depending on the circumstance. If it's a product that would otherwise not come to market, or they just need some money to help get the project off the ground, I'm fine with that. But again, very specific circumstances. They gotta be like a small team or a small startup company, an indie developer, a content creator, someone who can't get the funds to do it themselves, no matter what. See, the thing is that I know some people are different, but it's hard to get investors when you're just one person, especially in this economic climate. So if people are willing to help fund a project and make it real, and the rewards are worth it to them, that's fine. Hell, I did the ukulele Kickstarter, only Kickstarter I've ever put funds in. Why? Well, mainly because it was more guaranteed to come to market because the game was already in production, and the budget was small. So you see, I'm not against crowdfunding in its entirety, like some people that I know. I mean, namely a Dose of Buckley, who has some fair points, but I'm not against crowdfunding on the whole. However, I am against crowdfunding for corporate products. Those of you who don't understand this, which you should, because it's very simple, I don't know what's wrong with you. It is the responsibility of corporations to find investors and the money to make their projects real. It is their responsibility, and it's been the responsibility of corporations to build and fund their own products ever since the inception of capitalism. That's the whole point. It is their job to make the product, invest it, and then sell it so that they can make the return on their investment. It does not work where the consumer pays for the product initially, and then it comes out, or they pay for the product to come to market, and then when it releases, they still have to pay for it, which means that the company took no risk. In economics, and in all areas of finance, there has to be risk. There always is risk. It's why the stock market is risky, because companies can lose money. But if people are paying for all of their projects, where is that risk for them? I'll tell you where the risk is. The risk is on the consumer. They are risking their money for their product to come to market. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not. And I know that some people have been using the argument, well, it's optional, an argument that is very flawed, as I've explained multiple times. For example, I don't buy Assassin's Creed, yet its formula still gets replicated because other people do. So even though I didn't pay for it, the negative effect of that has come to me. And the same thing will happen here. I don't want to fund their projects. Their projects get done, I'll buy it if I like it. But now if this happens, there'll be some things where it's like something I want, but I'm not going to fund because it's not my responsibility. And they're like, well, not enough people funded it, so now it's not happening. Because I don't want to take the risk. So your choice to support this kind of bullshit is going to affect me at some stage. It will. You guys need to stop looking at everything in a vacuum. Things will affect you. The choices of other people will affect you. That is a reality of life. And even still, principally, it's wrong. Principally, it is wrong to make your customers have the burden of making your product a reality. It is bullshit, frankly, to put the burden onto them. It is your responsibility. And again, now we're going to get into a little rant about Sony and corporations in general. I've been saying for years that Sony are in the shit financially. A lot of people don't know it. A lot of people don't know it because the media don't report on it. I'm not talking about, you know, the media on the whole, they do, but the games websites do not cover it. They will always have a misleading title that says, this made a profit, oh, but Sony lost $1 billion. Whereas I haven't done that. I've reported to you straight how much money Sony has lost in certain years. Cause it's a lot. $1 billion, $2 billion recently. They have been losing money for close to a decade. Sony are not doing well. Sony Pictures are not doing well. The Sony Technology division's not doing well. Sony Music isn't doing well. The only division that's doing well is PlayStation. Now, and that was after 7 years of straight losses. Yet a lot of people think that PlayStation is doing very well. And I just don't get it. It's obvious. I mean, yeah, PlayStation's doing well, but Sony's not. And this should be further proof that they're not doing well. When a company turns to this, where they ask the fans, the consumers, to pay for their own research and development and for their own projects, that should tell you something. Sony, if they were really interested in these ideas, and this is the thing you need to understand, it's not like they've never listened to the ideas of their employees in the past. Every company has to some extent. So some of the things you've seen will have come from the ideas of employees. So it's not like this is a new thing to help them out. If they do not have enough money to take the risk to invest in these products, that means they should be bankrupt. It means they shouldn't exist. If they need to beg people to give them money so that they can start investing in projects to try and make some money back and not take the risk, it means they're in trouble. And I've been saying this for so long, yet everybody's like, not listening, Microsoft are losing money. And it pisses me off. When a company starts e-begging, you know stuff is bad. And here's the thing, right? I see other companies that are more affluent doing this in the future. I can envision a day in which Apple starts asking people to help them fund these ideas that their employees have. I can see companies like Nintendo doing it, or Microsoft doing it. I can see any number of companies following suit if this is a success. Will it be a success? I don't know. I have seen mixed responses, but that is still concerning. I thought everybody would say, actually, no. Like I was thinking when I saw Shenmue getting announced as a Kickstarter. No, but it's Sony, so they can get away with it. This is why I really don't like a lot of gamers. They are very biased in favor of Sony. They are. And, I still like the PlayStation more than the Xbox. That much is for sure. And I don't like Microsoft a whole lot. But I'm not a big fan of Sony either. Because Sony, on the whole, is not the good company that you think they are. And they are not the successful company that they think you are. This is not the late 90s and the early 2000s. Sony have been losing money for a very long time. And it's time you come to accept that Sony isn't the patron saint that you think they are. Especially when they're begging you to give them money for the projects that they should be funding themselves. This is basic economics. It's been this way forever. And it's worked. But now, because they don't feel like taking the risk, the burden's on you. And I say, no way. Sony, fuck yourselves. I'm not paying for your projects. That is your job. And anybody who has an ounce of self-respect should agree with me. Do not support this program or any other programs like this in the future. It is the responsibility of corporations to fund their own projects. End of story.